Right, so we're now starting to get more advanced code. We've talked about loops. We're now going to look at something called conditions. And conditions is basically what we call an if statement. If this happens, do that. If we go into the control section, we've got one that says if something then, and this one says if then else. So we've got those there. So what I could do is I could say, right, actually I'm going to bring in my green flag and I'm going to say if then. Okay, and I'm on my spaceship, so if then. So I'm going to have it so if it hits, if it crashes into the wall, a sun or something like that, or a planet, something will happen to it. Okay, so I'm going to add a new sprite in space, and we'll go for a planet. So I'll add the planet in. I'm going to put the planet here. I'm going to use this tool to make it slightly bigger. And now, on my if, I'm going to say if, I'm going to sensing, and I'm going to say touching. So if it's touching, and we're going to pick planet 2, and if you see our sprite there is called planet 2, then what is going to happen, it's going to say, for 2 seconds, oh no, I crashed. Okay, so I press the red button and nothing is happening, as you can see. So if I press the green arrow, nothing happens. If I move my spaceship onto my planet, so it's now touching it, oh no, I crashed. So, oh no, I crashed for 2 seconds. If I move it off, click that, nothing happens. So it's saying if it's touching that, it will say something. Okay, we can then combine that with our if, with our forever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to put a forever around it. So I'm going to say forever, I want it to move 10 steps, and then if it's touching planet 2, oh no, I've crashed. So if we run that, you'll see it doesn't say anything. Aha, remember I used the other one last time, that's the problem. So not move 10 steps, I want to change y by 10. Okay, so change y by 10, then if it's touching planet 2, oh no, I crashed. So we run it. So it does it for 2 seconds, and then it moves back around to loop. Okay, you can see it says, oh no, I've crashed, oh no, I've crashed, and it's moving on. If I move it off, it will carry on racing away there. If I move it there, it will carry on racing away. As soon as I get to that, it races away, and then when it hits the planet, it says, oh no, I've crashed. Okay, so that is a forever if. Okay, using an if. If this happens, do that, and it's sensing something. Okay, the other type of if that we have got is if then else, which allows you to do two things. So if this happens, do that, else do something else. So I'm going to say if it's touching planet 2, say, oh no, I've crashed, else change y by 10 steps. So now, when I click it, it keeps moving forward, and now it will stop moving forward and say, oh no, I've crashed. So if we put our forever around that, now it moves forward, but it only moves when it's not touching that planet. So it's saying if it's touching planet 2, say, oh no, I've crashed. But if it's not, i.e. else, so nothing else is happening, if that's not happening, change y by 10. Okay, and there's lots of excellent sort of things you can do with if statements to say, if this happens, do that, otherwise do the other. And that is kind of one of the biggest things about programming. Okay, if this is happening, do that, else do the other. So you could say something like, if we go back to our sensing, let's do our forever if. Forever if spacebar is pressed, we are going to spin. So we're going to turn 15 degrees, else we're going to say for 2 seconds, stop. I run it now, I say stop. Right, I'm holding down the spacebar, it's spinning. As soon as I let go of the spacebar, it goes stop. I hold down the spacebar. After 2 seconds, it starts spinning again. Okay. So again, we've used another if. We said, if this happens, do that, otherwise do the other. So the next part of your programming is to get conditions in there. Okay. If this happens, do that. And it's really, really good to get them in with loops. So if this happens, it does that, else it does something else, and it continually does that until you tell the script to stop. So have a go at putting in conditions.